hope you have a three-day weekend coming your way. We do. We're off on Monday. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is the 29th day of August, 2025. Mild start to the day, 63 degrees. We had that little respite from the heat. Of course, we set a record high temperature on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Had a little break for a couple of days. Cooler than normal temperatures, some clouds, and that goes away today. Going to be warm today, going to be hot right through the Labor Day weekend. Early part of next week, we're going to set some record high temperatures. We're back at it again. It's going to get hot over the Labor Day weekend. If you like it sunny and hot, we got a forecast you're going to like. Still a little instability today, then it goes away. So weather details are coming up. Just summer's not over yet. Heads up there. A lot of news to get to, a lot of sports to get to as we head into Labor Day weekend. The Seahawks have named their starting offensive line. This is a critical element if the Seahawks want success this year. Preview all of next week's interviews with the local area high school football coaches as prep sports kicks up. Of course, no Mariner highlights. They didn't play yesterday. They're going to play 9 games in 10 days. They're on a road trip back east. They're in Cleveland tonight. A milestone was accomplished by Mike Mignotti and his opinions and his show. The only one who noticed apparently was Mike. He'll have that in his commentary, and Lisa Blair will be my guest in the back half of the program. She's the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. First of all, they're going to get rid of the name. They have a new name contest going on. They're trying to keep things up and running for the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and they have a big fundraiser going on. Lisa Blair will join me in the back half of the program. It's a busy Friday as we head into a holiday weekend. It's tour time. Here we go. And there is the Wenatchee Valley proper. You can still see a few high clouds to the north of us, and there's some to the west of us left over from the low that paid us a visit over the last couple of days. Didn't really get any big thunderstorms yesterday. Didn't really happen much at all. There's still a slight chance of some light thunderstorms in a couple of pockets. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Yesterday's high was 84, 1 degree above normal of 83, and it was really easy to figure out sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:16, sunset 7:46. It was easy to add up. 13 and a half hours of daylight. We lose another, about 3 minutes and 15 seconds of daylight every day. And we'll continue to do that right until the end of summer, which is still over 3 weeks away. Camera number 2. Ooh, I want to say Hose Landing. That's what I want to say. I think that might be right. I'm pretty sure that's right. That's the Wenatchee Valley way off in the distance in Mission Ridge. So I want to say that's Hose Landing. That's almost directly across the Columbia River from Antioch. We haven't used that camera for a long time, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm 87.5% sure that's our Hose Landing camera looking south back down to the Wenatchee Valley. That's US 97 and Highway 2 on the corner of in the screen down there in the lower right-hand corner. Camera number 3. Oh, Billy Goat. Again, there's the higher clouds and you still see up there in the Omak, Okanagan area. Omak's at 61 degrees, by the way. The cool spot in our viewing area is down in Ellensburg. It's only 54 degrees down there. Of course, huge weekend in Ellensburg. The Ellensburg Roundup, the biggest party they have every year, always Labor Day weekend. And our 4th camera takes us to Lake Wenatchee. Ooh, just a few clouds hanging over there. Lots of blue sky there over in the Lake Wenatchee area. They got a little bit of rain. We got a trace of rain yesterday, not really enough to trigger the rain gauge. My car needs to be washed, and guess what? I'll be able to wash my car and not have to worry about rain for the foreseeable future. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Still, a slight chance of some thunderstorms during the hottest part of the day. We're still under the influence of that low pressure ridge, which is kind of stubborn. It took its sweet time getting out of here. It is leaving the area today, but I think we do have a slide about some thunderstorms. There you go. Chance of thunderstorms today, mostly in the Idaho Panhandle and far western Montana. We don't expect any here in the Wenatchee Valley. None really developed. Now, if you're heading up to like Republic or Ponderay, area for the Labor Day weekend, you have a slight chance of some thunderstorms, but they didn't really happen yesterday, but I thought we'd throw that out there. The big story is the warm-up. It's coming, folks. Going to happen again. Yep. Starts really today for the most part. I mean, we're going to be into the 90s today. We'll be about 10 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. Then we start talking about record high temperatures. A chance on Saturday, a chance on Sunday, probably not on Labor Day Monday. And then starting Tuesday, of next week. We could go for, just like we just had, an extended period of 2, 3, maybe even 4 days in a row of record high temperatures. We had that heat wave that came and went. Well, another one is coming our way, and it really starts in earnest tomorrow. You're going to be able to feel it, even though the days are getting considerably shorter. We got a lot of warm air coming up from the south, from California and Oregon. It's going to start infiltrating our area, especially on Saturday. From the National Weather Service, here we go. 91 today. So yeah, it's going to be considerably warmer than it was yesterday. Quite a bit of sunshine. The clouds that we have right now will be gone by the early part of the afternoon. 67 for the overnight low tonight, with just a couple of high clouds. Keep the heat in a little bit, and then here comes the heat wave. Saturday about 94 with lots of sunshine. Look how warm the overnight lows are going to be. 95 on Sunday. We're going to jump ahead to Tuesday because it looks like we're going to set a record high on Tuesday. Looks like we're going to set a record high on Wednesday. Looks like we're going to set a record high on Thursday. Record highs on those dates, 98, 97. We're thinking 99, maybe even 100. So a slight chance of breaking a new record Saturday. Not going to do it Sunday. Close Monday, and it looks like we'll set new record high temperatures for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. All right, the news. There's quite a bit of it on this Friday, and we'll give it to you in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Outside of a few high clouds, 93. It's 63, around 93 for the afternoon high today. We're going to be into the 90s right through the weekend, upper 90s as a matter of fact, through the Labor Day weekend. Record-setting high temperatures for a great deal of next week. Summer's not over. It's 10 minutes after the hour. An FBI search of the remote camping area where the Decker sisters were found murdered has concluded. The trails and the campsites are once again open to the public. The federal agency closed down the upper Icicle River area of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. They did that on Sunday, and the search went through Wednesday. It allowed about 100 agents to conduct a grid search centered on the campsite where Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker were found dead on June 2nd. The effort was part of the continuing hunt for their father, Travis Decker, the only suspect in their killing, who has not been seen since the Memorial Day weekend. The FBI said yesterday several items found in the search are being assessed to see if they're actually related to the case. Travis Decker remains the subject of a national manhunt. There's still a $20,000 reward offered through the United States Marshals Service for information leading to his capture. 2 people in a Grant County long-term care facility have died, and many more were sickened by a COVID-19 outbreak. The Grant County Health District says a 3rd death in the facility is under investigation. The agency did not identify the care center, but the outbreak has infected more than 45 residents and staff. The health district says the facility is now taking steps, including routine COVID testing and isolation for residents who do test positive. Public health agencies are lending air purifiers to help minimize spread of the virus. Emergency room visits for COVID-19 have increased in Grant County. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, the Chelan-Douglas Health District said yesterday hospitalization rates for the virus are currently low, but there's a slight increase in COVID-related ER visits among patients younger than 18 over the last 3 weeks. The Texas woman accused of defrauding a Leavenworth bank and several others around Washington pleaded guilty yesterday morning to similar crimes in the state of Maine. 51-year-old Andrea Cochran entered a plea to 3 federal counts, including bank fraud and identity theft in U.S. District Court in Portland, Maine, where she used false identity papers to withdraw money from 2 bank branches. She's charged with felony fraud in 4 Washington counties for allegedly doing the same thing here, including at the Kashmir Valley Bank branch in Leavenworth last year, where she allegedly withdrew $11,000. Cochran faces up to 10 years in federal prison, although her sentence is likely to be considerably shorter. No sentencing date has yet been scheduled. Of course, she still must face charges here for the cases in Washington state. A level 2 get-ready evacuation notice was issued Thursday morning for Holden Village, including the Rio Tinto mine water treatment plant, as the lightning-caused Martin fire grows. According to the U.S. Forest Service, the 60-acre wildfire is burning in the Glacier Peak Wilderness area. It's 2 miles northwest of Holden Village in the Chelan Ranger District, which is 43 miles northwest of Chelan. The wildfire was reported just before 8 a.m. on Wednesday. During a level 2 evacuation, Chelan County Emergency Management, they recommend packing essential belongings, and they say people with mobility issues, small children, and large animals should evacuate now. Holden Village was under a level 1 advisory beginning in early July until last week because of the Pumice fire. A tractor driver was injured in a collision on Highway 281 early Thursday morning near Quincy. The Washington State Patrol says it was roughly 4 a.m. when a tractor traveling southbound with no rear lights was rear-ended by a 2013 GMC pickup. The driver of the tractor, 34-year-old Miguel A. Contreras of Quincy, was airlifted to Sacred Heart Medical Center for treatment of his injuries. The driver of the truck, 45-year-old Isael Z. Zolano of Quincy, was uninjured. Both vehicles had reportable damage. State Patrol says that charges are pending for Contreras for operating a vehicle without appropriate lighting. Well, students began the return to classes, of course, this week, and the Wenatchee School Board approved the district's $156 million budget for this school year. The budget was unanimously passed on Tuesday night. Funding is divided across 5 areas, with $135 million set aside in the general fund, and the remainder spread among capital projects, debt service, student body activities, and transportation. District leaders told our media partner, the Wenatchee World, that they're preparing for the loss of federal dollars after the U.S. Department of Education withheld billions in K-12 funding this summer. While a portion of that money was later restored, Superintendent Corey Callahar says Wenatchee is not counting on it for the 2026-2027 school year. He says the challenge now is to making sure future adjustments don't affect the classroom experience for students. And construction for the Grant County PUD's new Ephrata Service Center kicked off on Tuesday with a groundbreaking ceremony. Service centers house PUD mailrooms, fueling islands, line departments, and more. The new service center will be on a 34-acre lot diagonal from the Ephrata Walmart that the PUD purchased from Grant County for $455,000 with access to Highway 282. The PUD is exploring options for how to repurpose the existing service center in Ephrata, which was built in the mid-1970s and has grown to be confined because it's hemmed in by city structures and the train tracks. Construction for the new center is expected to extend through 2027. That's a quick look at what's making news on this Friday. One more newscast before everybody gets a 3-day weekend, at least around here. No Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on Monday the 1st. No newscast on Monday the 1st. We'll have special programming. But in the meantime, we still have to work today. I know. So the news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on television. If you consume television via the World Wide Web, our news will be up and running on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com, just short of 5 o'clock. Right around 5 o'clock, you can go to our YouTube page and watch the news in its entirety. Our news is archived, of course. You can watch any newscast you want pretty much whenever you want. We're now on Roku. We're now on the Amazon Fire Stick. We're on Apple TV Plus. We have an app. We're omnipresent. Not really. And if you have a news tip, get a hold of us, news at NCWLIFE.com. Sports, the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and Lisa Blair, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, will be my guest. It's a busy Friday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Experience the music of ABBA with Abra Cadabra, coming to the Wenatchee Valley for the first time this fall at the America Performing Arts Center, September 21st. Don't miss this family-friendly stage extravaganza, receiving rave reviews from coast to coast. For tickets and info, go to iloveabba.com. That's iloveabba.com.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
18 minutes after the hour, sports. The Mariners are in Cleveland, the first of a weekend series against the Guardians. Seattle heads into the series. They're 72-62. The Guardians right at 500, 66-66. George Kirby gets the start for the Mariners. Logan Allen takes to the mound for the Guardians. First pitch, 4:10 on Root Sports Northwest. Just one team in action in the American League West yesterday. It's usually pretty quiet on Thursdays, and it was. Unfortunately, the Astros edged the Rockies 4-3. That means the Astros are a full 2 games in front of Seattle in the division with 29 games left in the regular season. College football season kicked off last night in Ellensburg. Snuck right up on us. After a close first half, Central Washington opened it up in the second half. They blew out Colorado Mesa 41-14. Kenneth McGill passed for 190 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He also rushed for 135 yards and 2 scores, so he had a good night. Eastern Washington, they open the season Saturday. They'll be at Incarnate Word at 4 o'clock. If you have ESPN Plus, you can watch it. I don't. I can't. Washington State hosts Idaho tomorrow night. It's only 10 miles between Moscow and Pullman. I wonder if they're flying. Anyway, that'll be at 7 o'clock on the CW Network, and the Huskies will entertain Colorado State at 8 o'clock in Husky Stadium on the Big Ten Network. Seahawks announced their starting offensive line for the first week of the NFL season. Coach Mike McDonald says Anthony Bradford won the battle to start at right guard. Jalen Sundell will get the start at center. McDonald reminded everybody that nothing is written in stone.
when you're on the West Coast with all the transaction how it's going, it's tough to practice on early on Monday and Tuesday. So I felt like we got great work done there. But last 2 days really got a couple great practices in to ramp us into this weekend, and guys will be back Monday ready to roll. So really excited about the process. Get a couple days off for the coaches too to kind of refresh going into the season, and off we go. We have made a decision on our offensive line. So Abel started right tackle, Anthony Brad will start at right guard, Jalen right now was our starting center, Gray's obviously at left tackle, and Charles Cross at left tackle, or left guard and left tackle respectively. So good stuff. It's as you know, nothing's set in stone, but those guys have done a great job. Olu's done a phenomenal job. He's ready to go if anything happened. But that's the crew that we'll start the season with.
The big news in the NFL, by the way, yesterday was that Micah Parsons traded from the Cowboys to the Packers for 2 first-round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Coach McDonald was asked if the Seahawks were tempted for a trade.
That's a tough question to answer. Probably shouldn't be commenting on guys on other teams right now, but look, I mean, our philosophy is always going to be the same. We're always, John likes to say we're in everything, and I think that gives you a lot of flexibility to do things, and it doesn't it doesn't pigeonhole you into, hey, we only acquire players a certain way. So we're always going to be looking to make our team better, whether it's how we develop our guys, how do we acquire people at any point in the season. That's going to be our philosophy, but probably shouldn't comment on that right now. But interesting news today.
Interesting indeed. By the way, of course, the Seahawks begin the NFL season 1 week from Sunday at home against the San Francisco 49ers at Lumen Field, 1:05 on Fox. If you want to get a head start on high school football, there's a couple of jamborees to check out over the weekend. Wenatchee, Moses Lake, and Royal will be in Ephrata today at 5 o'clock for a jamboree. Cashmere will host Chelan, Okanagan, and Warden tomorrow night at 7. Our sports director Eric Granstrom visited with several local coaches. We'll air those next week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Coach Brian Bremer of Cashmere, Coach Taylor Mitchell at Wenatchee High, and Coach Jay Foster at Eastmont were all in positive spirits about the off-season.
We have a pretty committed group, especially led by our seniors who've been a part of the program for a while now, and a lot of these guys are 4-year guys. We have guys that try football here and there that don't stick it out, but we have a good number of these kids that are 4-year guys. But yeah, really good work in the weight room. Probably our highest numbers in the weight room for a spring and summer session than we've ever seen. And then we went to Whitworth's team camp. It was just kind of a little homecoming for me, which was super fun to be around the coaches that I worked with for 4 years and a place where I played and went to school, and kids played really well.
Spring, summer was really good. We hosted our team camp again this year, so it's nice that we're able to get the pads on, scrimmage against some other teams, and we as our coaching staff were able to evaluate guys. We did graduate our top rusher last year, our receptions leader, so top wide receiver, I guess top 2 from last year. So some big holes to fill for sure, but we're returning 4 of our 5 offensive linemen, returning our quarterback, a lot of pieces on the defensive side of the ball also. So there are a lot of shoes to fill, and so over the summer and so far in fall camp, we've been able to evaluate some guys and see what they can do.
We had a couple of guys that set school records in the weight room. I think we had 20 or 22 guys. We electronic time in the 40. We had 20 or 22 guys that broke 5 flat, which has never happened, at least in the 9 years I've been here. So that was huge. So suddenly we've got some more breakaway ability, and the one thing I think that's changed is we're better athletically this year than we've been in a while.
And again, you can watch Eric's interviews next week. He'll have Coach Bremer, Coach Mitchell, and Coach Foster one a day next week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Our first broadcast right here will be next Friday. That's when Wenatchee will host Lake City. They're out of Idaho. Grant Olson and Brandon Harley with the call. Pre-game at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. And then, Eastmont's season opener on Saturday is going to be at Liebhoff Field at the Apple Bowl. Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee is not yet ready to play on, so they had to move the game to Wenatchee. Eric and Grant will have the call with the pregame getting underway at 6:30. Our 9-game football schedule will continue a week after that with Davis at Eastmont. The Wenatchee will host Moses Lake day in September. That'll be on the 29th. Bridge of Sportsmanship features Wenatchee at Eastmont on October 3rd. Cashmere will host Zilla. We'll have that in Cashmere homecoming. That's October 10th. Eastmont will host the Moses Lake Mavericks the following week on October 17th. The Panthers wrap up the home part of their schedule October 24th against Sunnyside. If you go to our website, you can see the complete schedule for not only our broadcast, but for all the local high school football teams. Where did the summer go? And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 25 minutes after the hour. When you play games, card games, there are a set of rules, and those rules need to be abided by. You need to respect the rules, whatever game you are playing, which is why almost everybody who has a game room or a deck of cards probably has a worn-out paper book copy of According to Hoyle. And today is National According to Hoyle Day today. Edmund Hoyle, a British writer who codified all the rules for a whole bunch of different games. Now, you would think he would be somewhat of a contemporary, but he was actually born in 1672 and lived all the way, well, he lived to be 97 years old. That's pretty good. He first wrote down the rules of whist and then backgammon and then chess when he died in 1769 at the age of 97. By that time, he was immortal, and they just have completely reprinted every time there's a new game. A new edition of According to Hoyle would come out, and they've been doing it every year since 1965. Believe it or not, Edmund Hoyle was inducted. He was one of the first inductees into the Poker Hall of Fame in 1979, even though he died 60 years before poker was invented. I always associated According to Hoyle with poker to, mediate any disputes. There's about 300 games, by the way, the last I checked, on a typical edition of According to Hoyle. So if you play card games and you want to play by the rules, get the book out. It's According to Hoyle Day today. 27 minutes after the hour, today in history. He was the last Native American to finally make contact with white Americans. A Yana Indian who emerged out of the wilderness of northeastern California on August 29, 1911. He was the last of the Yana Indian tribe. There was nobody left, so he wandered out of the woods and became a national sensation. He did not know his own name because, according to custom, the Yana Indians do not speak their name, nor the name of any Yana Indian who had died. And since they had all died, he was the last one. They called him Ishi, the last Native American to make contact with white Americans. And it wasn't that long ago. August 29th, 1911, he was about 50 years old. They don't know. He lived another 5 years in an apartment at the University of California, but he died because, of course, he had no natural immunity to the diseases of the Caucasians. Ishi, the last Native American, makes contact with everyday Americans on the state 114 years ago today. It was big news. 59 years ago today, August 29, 1966, the Beatles had already told Brian Epstein, we're going to tour North America in the summer of '66, but do not book us on any more tours. We don't want to do it anymore. It's not very fun. The Beatles performed their very last concert before paying fans to the public at Candlestick Park in San Francisco for Tempo Productions. It didn't go very well. Candlestick Park sat 42,500 at the time, but they only sold 25,000 tickets, which means they had a bunch of unsold seats. Tickets were between $4.50 and $6.50. The Beatles, their fee was around $90,000. They took 65% of the gross, the Beatles did, from Tempo Productions. The city of San Francisco took 15% of all paid admissions, and they were giving 50 free tickets. So you'd couple all those arrangements in, plus low ticket sales and other unexpected expenses. Tempo Productions, who promoted the show, ended up losing their shirt. For the Beatles, it was their last concert. Only 6 people knew it would be their final concert. The Beatles themselves, their manager Brian Epstein, and their press officer Tony Berra. The Beatles actually took photos of themselves on stage during the show. They took selfies. Tony Barrow recorded the concert on a cassette tape. That tape has been bootlegged. It's available on the internet if you can find it. It pops up every now and again, and then it gets shut down again for copyright issues. But the Beatles performed their last concert in San Francisco on this date 59 years ago today. This is a hurricane. They're doing all kinds of commemorations in New Orleans, which essentially drowned 20 years ago today, August 29th, 2005. Look at the size of that thing. Hurricane Katrina devastates the United States Gulf Coast from Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle. New Orleans, of course, took the brunt of it. 1,836 people died, $108 billion in damage, the third deadliest hurricane in this country's history. The Galveston hurricane of 1900 didn't have a name. They didn't name hurricanes. That's just bizarre. That killed 8,000 people. And the Okie-Kabokie hurricane of 1928 killed 4,000 people. But back then, forecasting hurricanes wasn't like it is now. And even though they knew it was coming for a long time, it still killed almost 2,000 people. And New Orleans, in many respects, is still recovering. And I'm assuming somebody got fired over this. August 29th, 2008, 17 years ago today, 6 U.S. cruise missiles armed with nuclear warheads are flown without authorization from Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. The nuclear warheads in the missiles were supposed to have been removed before the missiles were taken from their storage bunker, but they didn't do it. The missiles with the nuclear warheads attached were not reported missing, and they remained mounted to the wings of the aircraft, both in Minot and in Barksdale, for 36 hours. And during those 36 hours, the warheads were not protected by the various security precautions for nuclear weapons. In other words, yeah, dodged one there. I'm sure somebody in the Air Force got fired for that. Let's do birthdays. They're all heavenly birthdays. With all due apologies to Coleman Hawkins and Sonny Rollins and Art Pepper and all the great saxophonists in the world of jazz, he's the best of them all. Charlie Parker, the Bird. Born in the state in 1920, like all great jazz legends, or most of them, didn't live very long. Died at the age of 34, but the saxophone playing, the music of Charlie Parker is still stunningly amazing all these years later. The greatest jazz saxophonist of them all, Charlie Parker. I wonder what John McCain would think of today's Republican Party. I don't know. John McCain, born in the state in 1936. Of course, we lost John in 2018 at the age of 81, the 2008 Republican nominee for president. And Michael Jackson, born in the state in 1958, the king of pop. Michael Jackson would have been, let's see, if he was born in 1958, would have been 60, I don't know. Happy birthday, Michael Jackson. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are, oh yes, it's my birthday too. Yes, there you go. I am 39 today. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat, that's a lovely shot. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Boy, the air conditioner has just been working overtime this summer. It always is, but this is getting a little ridiculous, and it's going to be working for quite some time. If you think your air conditioner needs a tune-up, or maybe it's on its last legs, get a hold of Alpine Air. They got some great financing available, by the way. Maybe it's time to switch out your entire HVAC system. Maybe not a bad idea. Mike McNaughty recently celebrated a milestone. The only one who noticed it was Mike McNaughty. He'll talk about that during his opinion. And then Lisa Blair, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Lots of things going on for those folks on Maple Street. She'll join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
The Chelan County Republican Party presents another fabulous Lincoln Day dinner. Join us September 21st in the Wenatchee Convention Center at 5 p.m. for an exciting, informative evening with James O'Keefe. For 15 years, he's been a leading American journalist and media innovator, from taking on the biggest corporations like Pfizer to uncovering voter fraud and political corruption. Tickets are now available but limited, so go to ChelanGOP.org and get on board for a fantastic evening.
Paid for by Marcy Collins.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Chelan County Fair returns September 4th through the 7th at the Fairgrounds in Cashmere. Thursday is Senior Day. Folks 62 and older get in for free until 4 p.m. On Thursday night, it's the Boy Band Review taking the stage. Friday, it's multi-platinum country artist Matt Stell with special guest Jessica Lee. And Saturday and Sunday, it's the PRCA Rodeo. All of these attractions are free with your ticket to the fair.
Hello, I'm Chelsea Chanley. I'm Sergeant for Wenatchee Valley Animal Care and Control. And this is Declan. He is a German Shepherd mix. We believe he's about 4 years old. He actually came from an animal control case that our officers saved him from an undesirable living situation along with one of his friends. Given that, it's astonishing to see how resilient and loving he is. Therefore, that's why we named him Declan, because he's full of joy and goodness. We're currently working on some training with him. He knows sit and lay down. He loves exploring his environment, and he's super sweet and loyal. So we need him to go to a family that will continue to show him what love and loyalty should really look like. And we're also working on some leash training as well, but he's very playful. And as always, we recommend that if you do have another dog or dogs in the home, that you come to the shelter and introduce them. And you can come meet Declan Thursday through Tuesday, 12:30 to 6. And you can also make appointments on Wednesdays. So come visit us so Declan can meet you and possibly go home with you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. When NCWLIFE came on the air in 2016, Dan Kuntz started his show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan asked me to do this bit called Everyone's Entitled to Mike Mad Dog Magnotti's Opinion, and I've been doing it ever since. I recently checked and estimated that I have given my opinion on over 300 different topics. Who possibly could be filled with that much hogwash that he thinks it's interesting enough to share? I don't know if I want to answer that one. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Foothills Magazine invites you to Eastern Washington's premier food and wine event, the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, Saturday, November 8th. Celebrate the region's best wines, savor delicious bites from top local chefs, and enjoy craft beer, cider, live entertainment, and more. All guests receive a keepsake wine glass, and our exclusive VIP experience offers even more to sip and savor. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at WenatcheeWineandFood.com.
This is Phyllis. At 92 years young, her typical day starts out on the course.
Last year, I golfed over 300 days. In 2002, when I got my first hole-in-one, Abby's gave me a free pizza. Over 20 years later, I'm still golfing and I'm still eating their pizza. I just think Abby's is legendary.
Abby's, legendary pizza for legendary people.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome back to the program. Just behind my shoulder is, hopefully in a few years' time, if all things work out together, and this is what we're here for, the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center will have a brand new thrift shop so they can take back their campus, which was built over 30 years ago, starting to show its wear and tear. And they've simply outgrown the current facility, so there's a capital campaign going on. Lisa, introduce yourself to our television family.
Hi, I am Lisa. I'm the executive director, and I've been with the Senior Center for a year. I started out as the program director. I was hired as the executive director when our past director, Dave, retired. So I have been in that position for slightly over a year, and I am pretty much a native of Wenatchee.
And you kind of inherited this big project from Dave. This is something that's been in the hopper with your board of directors for quite some time. This is no secret. You have simply outgrown your facility.
Correct. We have.
And the biggest problem is all the rooms that used to be activity rooms and meeting rooms for your clientele and your patrons have been basically taken over by the thrift store. So we need a new thrift store.
We do. What we're working on is building an addition that we can move space out to that addition so that we can reclaim all of our activity rooms. We had 9, we lost 7 in the transition, and that was at COVID. We were hoping to get those back when COVID was over. That was pre-me, predated me, and it didn't happen because the thrift store provides a little over 60% of our income, and you can't give somebody something for 2 years and then say, okay, here we are, we're going to scale back on this, and we want our space back. So the programs that we had and the activities that we had, we weren't able to restore after COVID. We've lost a lot of the card games, we lost pool, we lost ping pong, which we're hearing about from the disgruntled members, which I understand. They want their activities back that they're used to, and we want to expand and grow and move into the community a little more and be more welcome to everybody that would like to participate. So
the building and the campus date to 1993. It's been extremely well maintained, but still it's over 30 years old, and anything over 30 years old that's a building that gets as much use as this does, improvements have to be made. Security, Wi-Fi, just general stuff needs to be done. It needs to be upkept like any other building.
Yes, and we're feeling it. We're starting to feel it. We've had issues with our heat pumps. We've had to replace 4 to 5 of just the compressors recently, and it gets expensive. You're right. We don't have decent Wi-Fi. We have spotty Wi-Fi, as our communications director would tell you. We're really outdated, and we can feel that. We need to upgrade that. We don't have a sprinkler system, so if there was a fire, it's the fire department. We're not going to get water coming down to take care of things. We're probably going to lose the building. So we need to update, and we need to upgrade, and we need to be a safer facility.
And if you've been in the thrift shop, if you haven't, you're missing out, because this is a great place to go. It is sort of just kind of taken over almost half of your facility. I mean, it's been a huge success. As you mentioned, it's over 60% of your annual budget is the sales from the thrift shop.
Yes.
But it's getting to the point where it's hard to even move around inside of there, and you keep getting donations all the time. You don't even have any place to put them.
We don't. We're struggling with that. 2 of our activity rooms are now the donation rooms, and there are days, and I hesitate to say this too loud, but it's full to the ceiling. Fire department did not hear that, but it's tough. There are times where we have to put a sign out. Russ will post a message for people not to donate for the next half a day or a couple days, just because we've completely run out of room for donations.
And it gets worse come Christmas time when you open up your thrift shop, which is hugely popular and a big money maker for you. You get all of these Christmas items and you don't have any place to put them.
Right. You can't see on the cameras to the left, but there are 4 containers, semi-sized containers to our left that are full of different items that we bring in and out of the thrift shop as the season warrants. One of them is full of Christmas stuff. So we are preparing in the next less than 6 weeks, probably in the next 4 weeks, we'll start the process. But within 6 weeks, we're going to have everything moved out of the main area of the thrift store, and all of the Christmas stuff goes in. And that's in preparation for November. I think this year it's the 9th. I'll have to double check, but that's our big day that we start our Christmas. And so it'll be full.
The capital campaign is underway. They've raised, I think, a little over $400,000, which, is not enough. You have a general ballpark figure of about $4 million to make this happen. Is that about right?
That's correct. Every year that we postpone, we add $250,000 to that number, just because of the rising cost. So our goal is to get it done as quickly as we can, so that we don't go outside of our budget, or just plain don't have enough to complete the project. So we want it to be done. We want it to be done soon, and we're shooting for $4 million and maybe a little bit more.
And every time you kick the can down the road, the building still gets another year older, and compressors fail, and the sink starts leaking, and the problems just start piling up.
Exactly.
And yet your volunteers, and this place is 90% volunteer driven, they don't seem to mind. They seem to like it here a lot.
They love it here, yes, and we wouldn't be surviving without our volunteers. We live off of our volunteers. We had a big event this last Saturday. It was our end of summer barbecue, and we had, I think, 3 employees that were there. Everybody else that ran that barbecue, they were all volunteers, including the Appalarians that came and flipped the burgers. So we really, really need our volunteers in the community.
And you really, really need another name. It sounds kind of funny. Just a point of reference, this building goes 1993. Its building was built essentially to be a place, a gathering spot for my parents' generation. The baby boomers are now reaching retirement age. God bless the greatest generation, but they're not your patrons anymore. It's a whole new ball game for you guys to deal with, and we got to just 86 that whole senior part of your name altogether. Talk about that.
Well, that's twofold. Yes, we do want to expand who we service, because you're right, we're getting in a new generation, and they want different things than the outgoing generation, or the generation that is slowing down a little bit and is a little less into some of the active things that we do. But we also learned, kind of what prompted it was, we started applying for state and federal grants, and we felt like we were pretty much being shut down. So one of our board members did a little investigating, and he looked at all of the different grants that were awarded within the state of Washington. And I think he said he was able to find one, or maybe not even one, with the name senior in it. So we began to realize that if we truly wanted to put this addition on, we needed to do a little rebranding, change our name, and focus on what we really are, not just a senior center, but we're a center for the community.
And you can come have lunch here Tuesday through Friday. All you got to do is give them a couple of days in advance. Just go to the website. By the way, Russ did a great job with the website.
Oh, isn't that fantastic?
Really fantastic. Super easy. Very well done. We're talking about Russ Allman, the handsome and talented. By the way, Russ Allman, I'm contractually obligated to say that.
Okay.
For $5 a pop, as long as you give them a couple of days heads up, go to the website, find out what the menu is, click on it, and so they can make the right amount of food, and it's open to anybody. It doesn't matter. From 5 years old to 105. Come have lunch here.
We've had at least 3 generations, maybe 4 generations, sitting at a table together. Little babies in arms up to the elderly with their walker. So anybody can come. We had 121 yesterday. roast beef day. If you really want a good meal, come on Western Day. Sometimes we have music with it. We always have roast beef, and it's a fabulous meal. And that is just sort of what all of our meals are like. There are some of them a little less dressed up than that, but it's always fabulous food.
And I can personally attest that the chili is pretty darn good. I'm a chili aficionado.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very good. We had Debbie Schwabero. She is the one that handles the kitchen, and she has been at it by herself for a little over a year now. She does a fantastic job. We really, really appreciate her.
You mentioned your board. You got some heavy hitters. You got Dr. Steve Castor, an old friend of mine. You got Aaron Cass. These are movers and shakers that are it's all volunteer that are helping you guys see to the future.
Yes, it is. We have a very wonderful board to work for. I really enjoy working with them. We have 9 right now. We lost one as we did our transition in June. So we lost one board member, and it's a member at large position, so we don't have to fill it right now. We just want to really make sure we do the right thing, get the right person in, and of course it's up to the board to make that decision. But every one of them are fantastic. They all give of their time, they give of their talents. We have really talented people that are able to keep us going.
So how can my viewers help? We'll start out with the naming thing. There's if your name gets pulled out of the hat, they don't pull names out of the hat. They're going to pick the appropriate name to rebrand Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. You're putting up some pretty nice dough there. Talk about how people enter. You got until the end of this month to do it, and the whole process of going about choosing a new name.
How it is set up to work, and we launched it last week on Facebook, on our internet site, and then also you can come in and submit your name here in the center. But how we launched it was to run for 2 weeks, and you can submit as many times as you want through the course, up to once a day. So you can get on there once a day and make your submission. You can come in once a day and make your submission. They're all time stamped and date stamped, and so right now we have well over 150 people that have given their ideas. Some of them are sending 15 in at once, and please don't do that. We want individual submissions so that we can play fair.
But $1,000 is $1,000 value.
It is $1,000. You can either choose 2 500 lifetime memberships, or we will give one $500 cash payout. And same for second prize, that's 2 one-year memberships or a $50 payout. And the reason the payout is a little less than the value is because, well, the reason we're doing that way is because not everybody wants to be a member. We would like them to be, but they don't all want to take that, so we're giving them another option.
And by the way, you don't even have to be a senior to be a member of this, and it's cheap.
It is. It's $50 a year for a single person, $75 a year for a couple, and we're doing a little bit of changing in our bylaws. That'll change once we settle on a name and we change our mission statement. So once that happens, we'll change the bylaws a little to allow for a different age demographic to come in. But we really want to be multicultural, multi-generational, and we want to be available to everybody if they want. It doesn't mean we are going to change the fact that we are a senior center. We will always be a senior center. We will always cater to the 50 and over, but anybody is welcome to join that.
And now the big ask, somebody out there watching this show has $3,600,000 in their checkbook. So go ahead and whip that baby out, make the check out personally to Lisa Blair, and she'll make sure it gets where it needs to go.
Oh, I will.
Let's get this baby built. What do we do to help you get to that $4 million mark and get this new annex and the new thrift shop built?
That is a big ask. We reached out to our membership. I feel like we've kind of tapped out the membership. Almost everybody has donated in one way or another. If they can give $5 or $10, they do. If they're able to give several thousand, they do. We have people that are donating their required minimum distribution from their retirement. That's very helpful. But like I said, I feel like we've tapped that out, and so now we're looking to the community, some of the bigger businesses, some of the individuals that want to see this succeed. We know it's out there. We just need to ask the right people and not only let them know what they can do for us, but we need to make sure that they know what we're able to do for them.
The Wenatchee Valley is not going to get any smaller, but that building ain't going to get any bigger unless you help them out. So go to the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center website. Very well done. Did I mention that the handsome and talented Russ Allman did that?
The Russ Allman, yes.
Yeah, same one that we're talking about.
The handsome and talented Russ Allman. That one, yes.
Check it out. There's a place right there. There's a QR code. It's so easy to donate. Do the lunch thing. Come by and support the thrift shop. You'll find some steals there. I found a couple of really good steals in there. I didn't tell you what I was, but I was going through some albums one time and I said, this is worth a lot of money. I think I'll buy it for $5, but it all went to a good cause.
Yes.
I got a record that I wanted, and you got 5 of my dollars.
And we appreciate it. We really do appreciate everybody that comes in here and either donates or shops and spends their money. It's a very valuable asset to us. So thank you, everybody.
Can I come back and see you before the big holiday thrift fair gets going?
Please do.
Yeah?
Yes.
So we'll see you a couple of months?
Okay. Maybe we'll have a really nice update by then.
That would be fantastic.
Right.
Hopefully you'll have $3,600,000.
Or $4 million or $5 million.
Whatever it takes.
We'll take whatever.
Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Starting today and lasting through, the next 10 days or so, Mother Nature is going to give us a friendly reminder that summer is not over yet. Labor Day is early. It's on September 1st. The autumnal equinox isn't until 3 weeks from Monday, September 22nd. In the meantime, guess what? It's still going to be hot. We have another heat wave coming. In fact, record high temperatures are in the wheelhouse, especially for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Take a look at where you live. If you're getting sick and tired of the heat that we had earlier in the week, well, it's coming back and coming back with a vengeance. There's a bunch of hot air down there in Northern California and Eastern Oregon, and it's going to seep up to the Wenatchee area, and it's going to stay here for a while. Get ready for some hot weather. After only 84 yesterday, which is actually normal, here we go, folks. From the National Weather Service, your Labor Day weekend forecast, 91 today. We're at 65 right now, so we're going to warm up quite a bit today. A few clouds tonight, overnight low of about 67, then we go up another degree or two Saturday to 94, Sunday 95, Monday, Labor Day proper, 97. Record high temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It looks like it's going to happen. The record high temperatures for those 3 dates are 97, and as you can see, will be warmer than that, perhaps even triple digits by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Another prolonged heat wave is coming our way. We have Monday off, so have a good 3-day weekend. We're going to be back here on Tuesday of next week, but we're not going to work real hard. Bye-bye.